Hi, I'm Jay Turo, CEO of GT Securities, the #1 broker-dealer platform for independent investment bankers. If you're an independent investment banker, whether you work solo or in a 2 or 3-person firm, you are in a talent war. But for you, talent doesn't mean managing a large analyst class. It means protecting your own time, expanding your capabilities, and delivering institutional quality work without institutional headcount. Today, I want to talk about how you can think differently about talent, capacity, and technology so you can compete more effectively against larger firms. Let's start with a simple shift in mindset. For independent bankers, the real constraint isn't opportunity, it's bandwidth. Your value is in judgment, how you position a company, how you frame a valuation, how you negotiate a deal, how you build trust with a client. But too often, that judgment time gets consumed by structured, repeatable tasks, updating comps, building first drafts of decks, pulling data, formatting materials, managing virtual data rooms. And if you want to grow, you have to redesign your workflow around protecting high-value hours. One practical way to do that is to divide your work into 3 categories. First, judgment work. This is the work only you can do. Strategy, buyer targeting logic, narrative development, pricing conversations, negotiation tactics. This is your edge. Second, structured analytical work. Things like comparable company analysis, industry research, initial drafts of marketing materials. This work requires skill, but it follows patterns. Third, low judgment, high volume work. Formatting, data organization, routine updates. This is the work that drains you. Your goal is to spend the majority of your time in category 1, while building systems for categories 2 and 3. That brings me to the next important concept. You don't need a pyramid, you need a pod. Large banks historically relied on a pyramid structure. Many junior analysts at the bottom, fewer senior bankers at the top. As an independent banker, that model doesn't apply. You're not trying to replicate a bulge bracket structure. Instead, you need a small, flexible ecosystem around you. Think of yourself as the orchestrator. You define the strategy. You own the client relationship. You make the critical decisions. Around you, you assemble capabilities as needed. This might mean building relationships with trusted external analysts who understand your standards. It might mean partnering with research providers who can produce sector-aligned work quickly. It might mean using technology to automate portions of modeling or drafting. The key is that these external resources are not just vendors. They become extensions of your workflow. They understand how you think. They produce work that aligns with your voice and your quality bar. When that alignment is right, something powerful happens. You increase capacity without dramatically increasing fixed cost. You can handle more mandates, you can move faster, and you can do it without burning out. Now let's talk about specialization. Clients increasingly expect deeper expertise. They don't just want a generalist investment banker. They want someone who understands their subsector, their buyer universe, their strategic landscape. As a small firm, you can't be everything to everyone, but you can be excellent in a focused domain. Choose a core area where you build undeniable depth, whether that's a specific industry vertical, a particular deal size range, or a product niche. Then build adjacent capabilities that allow you to flex. For example, you might anchor in industrial technology, but develop strength in cross-border buyers or private equity-backed carve-outs. You don't have to personally master every adjacent capability. You just need to know enough to spot the opportunity and then plug in the right expertise through partners or tools. That leads to another major shift happening in our industry, the rise of technology as an amplifier. Artificial intelligence and advanced tools are changing how quickly work can be produced. For independent bankers, this is not a threat. It's a leverage opportunity. AI can help you draft first-pass company summaries, generate alternative positioning angles, summarize long filings, identify model errors, or brainstorm buyer lists. It can dramatically compress the time required for structured tasks. But here's the important part. AI does not replace judgment. It augments it. You still decide which buyers make sense. You still interpret risk. You still structure the deal. You still manage the negotiation dynamic. Technology accelerates output. You provide direction and accountability. The independent banker who learns to combine deep judgment with smart use of tools will have a structural advantage over someone who resists them. There's also a cultural piece to this. In a small firm, leadership is you. The mindset you adopt determines how competitive you remain. If you view technology and external partners as threats to control, you'll limit your growth. If you view them as extensions of your capability, you create a multiplier effect. It's not a choice between internal capability and external support. It's about combining them in a way that makes 1 + 1 equal more than 2. Finally, let's address sustainability. Independent banking can be intense. Deal cycles are unpredictable. Workloads spike. Without thoughtful design, burnout becomes real. By building repeatable processes, trusted external relationships, and intelligent use of automation, you create resilience. You're not just increasing output, you're improving the experience of doing the work. That matters if you want to build a long-term practice, not just close the next transaction. So here's the practical takeaway. Protect your judgment hours, design systems for repeatable work, build a flexible ecosystem around you. Adopt technology as an amplifier, not a replacement. Focus your specialization where it truly differentiates you. You don't need a 100-person team to compete. You need clarity on what only you can do and a smart way to support everything else. That's how independent investment bankers win.